Yeah. I'm excited that we are finally having to start this series that we have been talking about behind the scenes to see how we can just educate and contribute to the professional growth of our people.
Of course, this is just like a life come true,
Exactly.
a dream come true. And just like I promised some of our followers today, this live show is about learning and earning. Of course,
Please,
they're
that is
going to learn skills that will earn them some money, and they're also going to earn money through this live show while they're learning the skills.
exactly.
And this has been made easy by the giveaway that we have put forth for the live show today. And guys, of course, as you join the live show, all we ask of you is to make sure that you go through the checklist. The checklist is about what you have to like. You drop a comment so that we should know where you're watching from, and then you share. And so sharing is caring. And if you are sharing, it means that you actually want a lot of people to also learn from the skills that you are here to learn today. And you want people to benefit what you are also here to benefit. So thank you so much for sharing. As soon as we have a good number of shares, we will be able to proceed with the program. Thank you all for being part of the program this evening. And Rose Wanger does it see I recognize your presence. Thank you so much for being part of the broadcast this evening. Young Peter Wankem, thank you for joining the live show, sir. We do appreciate the fact that you are there. Thank you, Mr. Derek, for being part of the live show. As you share, let me also try to share to my own platforms too before we begin, because when I don't share, it's just as if I have something missing. So, Doc, how is the weather, your place today? How is everything over there?
Going on okay. Going on okay. One step at a time. God is faithful. We keep doing what we can do.
Yeah, of course. That is important.
Uh,
So let me get you. I think I need to get. Oh my God. Yeah. So, Doctor, before we begin this live show, before I even go ahead to share, let's get to greet a few people who are joining us this evening from various parts of the world. I think I see people joining from Cameroon, people joining from the United States of America. People have friends who are commenting from Congo Republic and Brazzaville. I also have people who are joining from the United Arab Emirates. And we say thank you to all of you who are part of the program today. To you, Gisbert, it's a pleasure. We have Olivet, we have Michael Johnson, we have Fokam, we have Lizette. We might not, if I pronounce your name badly, please don't be annoyed. I'm very poor when it comes to pronunciation of names. So don't take it personal. We have Daisy, who is part of the show, Shella. We have Kyla, always there. We have Livinus. We have a lot of people. We will be coming back to, especially recognize all of you who are part of the show later as we move forward. And now I would like to let Dr. Jaffney take deep dive into just the definition of the topic or the point that we'll be talking about today. Electa Siuma. So today, Doctor, we are talking about how to identify your monetizable niche in Cameroon and Africa.
mhm.
Now, before we could even go into the definition of this topic, I want you to take a moment and just let our viewers know why we choose to talk specifically about Cameroon and Africa.
Mhm. Thank you so much. Hello, everybody, and welcome again. And this is going to be a series, so it's going to happen like 4 or 5 Saturdays as we create more time to do this. And the purpose of this particular show is to teach people how they can be able to monetize what they know and monetize their environment. And we sat and we thought about it in the sense that how do we contribute and help our followers, because this is a combination of two influencers and communities. This live stream is streaming live on Chris's page and streaming live on my page. We're just seeing how we can serve our two communities in general. And the purpose is, when you look at the African marketplace, when you look at Cameroon in particular, one of the biggest problems is that young people are looking for jobs and the jobs are not available, right? I'm sure there are many of you here that since you left school, you have been looking for jobs for so many years and not jobs, or maybe you are employed and you're underemployed. You are not being paid your worth as far as you're concerned as a young person. And research shows that majority of the graduates are unemployed across Cameroon and across Africa. And despite this challenge, how can we contribute? How can we begin to do things the right way that can position us in a place where we can be monetizable and be more employable? So I can guarantee you that if you follow this session to the end and for the next five Saturdays, that means for the next 1 month, you'll be able to learn new things that will enable you to become monetizable, become employable for yourself, and know what to do. And if you look at, we're focusing on attitude, we're focusing on mindset and skill set. Like I always like to say, you will never make money beyond the quality of your knowledge and the quality of your skills. So we are here to just throw out the skills. Chris has incredible experience managing a large community and as a career person himself. I have that experience. So I bring all of these together to just serve you and to teach some of these things that, many a times they are not available to the public. That's a fact, you see. So that is the purpose of this. And today we're starting with how to identify your monetizable niche in Cameroon and in Africa. We added Africa because we noticed that we have many followers in Nigeria. We have seen somebody from Gabon and different African countries, right? So again, I want to encourage you, make sure you follow the session for the 5 or 4 sessions we have in store for you. If you follow all the sessions, I can guarantee you that you will not be stranded. If at all, you take action, right? Because
Absolutely.
Quality knowledge is only qualitative and powerful when you take action. Relevant knowledge is useless to a lazy person. That's the fact, okay? But anybody you see doing amazing things in life, there is something they know that you don't know. And there are actions they are taking that you are not taking. So I can guarantee you today, we're going to start teaching you things that you need to know to rise to the top. And we encourage you to take action so you can rise to the top. All right? So get ready for an amazing ride. And I'm sure that it will be worth it. And Chris will throw more light about the conditions for the giveaway that we have for some people or one person, whoever, at the end of the session.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that explanation and for really getting us on track, Doc. Absolutely, it's going to be an amazing program as we go through. Just like you highlighted at the beginning, it's going to be made out of various series, and then we are going to make sure that by the end of this program, we will have people who can benefit from our giveaway. First, like I said, this is going to be a learning and an earning session. You are learning and then earning. The fact is that we don't just want you to be part of this program, but we want to build you and then follow you up. So what we intend to do at the end of this program is to be able to impact lives. And we can impact your life by making sure that you are putting into practice what you have been able to learn throughout this program. Now, we are going to be following you from steps to steps as we go through the live program by, first of all, making sure that at the end of each live show, we will ask questions to see who really understood what we talked about and who really followed up what we talked about. Then we will help you with, we'll give out some giveaways. And then at the end of this program, we will select some few, Africans, Cameroonians, just as we have highlighted, who have really acquired those skills that can be able to help them. And by doing so, we will help you financially because we have helped you materially. We have helped you to develop the resources that are needed to go through this program. We will also make sure that we can help you financially to put this skill into use. Now, what will it benefit us if we teach you how to realize your monetizable skills and we don't maybe supply you with the finances that will set you up? We know that those skills are already the money. The skills can already give you the finances, but you need basic. You need something basic to be able to start up with. You need food to be able to feed. You need transportation. So at the end of this live show today, we will make sure that we identify some people that are already on track We can always decide to award you, and when we will finally go through, we will also see who will help. Now, we will go deep into the topic today. I see that we already have a lot of people who are so excited and they are very ready to tap into the wealth of knowledge and experience. And with me in the studios today, I have Dr. Jaffney. He's a business coach and I'm a life coach. And so this is a blend of knowledge and experiences that are going to help you set you on track. So if you can follow us so closely today, there are some parts that he will be really taking you deep into the business world, and I will use some general knowledge to be able to, get your knowledge balance. And again, we are all going to make sure that we really explain what you need to be able to go through. Now, if you are following this live show, it's going to be interactive, which means that you are free to drop your comments at the comment section. You drop your questions, and then anything that you have that you believe that we can be able to elaborate more, feel free to drop it. Now, let's talk about monetizable niche, and then we talk about. So I want us to first of all just start with the definition, the basic definition of the topic, to let people know what we are talking about. Doc, you can start if you don't mind.
Awesome. All right. I always like to say that anybody you see making money is making money from an industry or from a platform or from a particular sector. You don't make money from thin air. You make money from a particular sector. If you see, for example, Dangote is recognized as the richest black man in Africa, he's making money from certain sectors. Now, the purpose here is, how can we as young people, how can we as a people identify those niches, those areas that we can monetize based on where we are as a people? So in this particular session for today, the first thing we're handling is teaching you those things that you need to look at and decide to start taking actions to monetize. Because the truth is, around you, within you, wherever you find yourself, there is a possibility that there is a niche that you can convert into money making, right? And there is something I always talk about, the battle of currencies. The battle of currencies. All the money you are looking for is in a particular niche. And until you know how to create value in that niche, until you know the kind of actions that you can take around that niche, you will not be able to make money from that niche, right? So the purpose to here is we'll be giving you some of the things that you can start taking, some steps you can start doing to identify what is the niche around me that I can monetize as an individual. What is the niche around me that I can convert into a money-making package so I can be able to make money? Now, why is this important? You don't just make money from thin air. No, you need to know how to create value in a niche, how to package that value, and how to monetize that value. When you do that, you will always end up making money. The difference is many people who are struggling financially do not know how to do this. So the point for today is, how can you identify your own monetizable niche? I have my own monetizable niche. Chris has his own. Anybody you see making money, especially consistently, I want to add that, because I always say that I am not impressed by somebody who you are rich today and then you are broke tomorrow, right? You are undulatingly rich, right? But it is more important for you to be consistently bringing an income. That's better. That's the best way that you can plan for yourself. You can plan for your financial future is for you to be able to consistently make money. And one of the foundations, one of the laws that you need to fulfill for you to consistently make money is to identify a niche that meets up with you, that connects with you, that you can leverage on to consistently make that money. So that is the definition of what we're focusing on today. So get ready for the how as Chris will share some points and then we move forward.
Absolutely. I like the way you had to break into, because when we are talking about the niche, a lot of people may really like to wonder what a niche is all about, and then why they will even have to identify a niche in the first place. I would like to let you understand that identifying a niche is the first way through which employers or entrepreneurs they break into the market. Because your niche is like that comfortable, that position in life where you are able to operate comfortably, like you are not doing it under pressure. Now, there are some basic areas in your life where you can just flow without even having someone to force you. Now, do you know what it means to be able to be doing what you like while earning money at the same time? That is it. When I went for one of my job interviews, and they asked me a question why I really wanted to do that job, I had to let them understand that the first thing was that doing that job was my hobby. That was because now when you are doing something that you enjoy doing it, there is a greater output. Yes. Because you are not doing it because you are under pressure, you are not doing it because of the money. Now, a lot of us have those aspects in our life. We have those things that we actually enjoy doing them. Now, we are calling it monetizable today, because what is that thing that you actually enjoy doing that you can convert into money? Like you can do that thing while having money. So now you understand that a lot of things that you know how to do them best, but you don't get money out of those things because you have not really identified that is your niche and that is what you can be able to convert into money. We are on Facebook, we are on social media, and you can just imagine a lot of people making money out of social media. Now, these people are making money out of social media not because they actually came to social media for the money. They came to social media because they loved social media. But at the end of the day, they are making money out of social media. Now, you are doing something that you actually enjoy doing in your life and then making money out of the thing that you actually enjoy doing. So now there is what we call, comfort from your job and then getting to get the money. Now, as we go into this live show today to talk deeper, I will try as much as possible to really expatiate on what I'm trying to talk about. But I just wanted to compliment or to add to what Doctor has already said about the niche, so that if you are part of this program today, you should be able to understand, first of all, what your niche is and the reason why you even need to identify this niche in the first place, and why that and how that niche will help you. And just as our live show, our topic is captioned today, we call it monetizable niche, because our aim here today is not just to make you to identify a niche, but we want you to identify a niche that can be monetized. And we talked about Cameroon and Africa, and most of the reason why we decided to sample Cameroon and Africa today is because we have discovered that Cameroon and Africa and Africa in general is that part of the world where we have those talents, we have those skills that can be monetized, but we tend to neglect them, since most of us after ENS or after university, we tend to rely so much on the government without believing that we have those inborn skills or those things in us that we can be able to use to create value, that we can be able to use to make money. So if you are part of this program today, I invite you to stay tuned. Don't go away, because you are going to, before we go through the end of this program, you are going to uncover that particular niche in you that you can use to convert it into money. Sometimes, Doc, it's so I feel pained when I see people with some skills that they can use to get money, begging for money. So it's just because these people have not been able to realize that this is what they have. They say that a journey without destination, or a journey where destination is unknown, speed is unnecessary. No matter how you fly, no matter how you move, if you don't actually know where you are going to, you can never learn. So people should be able to identify, first of all, who am I? What is that skill that I have in me? What do I actually need in life? What am I good at doing? And how am I able to be to turn this thing that I'm doing into money? Some of us, we're on social media, we talk a lot. There are some people that that you can just be on at the comment section trolling others, but these are some of the things that they're actually needing people somewhere to use this kind of skills that you have to make money. Now, Doc, I want us to now really go into the topic like talking about how to be able to identify. And I would like to, as usual, bring this back to you to school us on some of the reasons
Yeah.
why, how, or some of the ways, sorry, that we can use, or how we can be able to identify those monetizable niches in us.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for that incredible addition that brings a lot of understanding to the people that are following. Now, how can you identify your monetizable niche? And I'll be sharing with us about 5 ways that you can identify your monetizable niche. Let us start with the number one way, which is, let's start with you. Let's start with you, your personality as an individual. Let us start with your strength. Now, if you are getting me right now, I want you to comment your number one strength on in the comment section. What is your number one strength? If they ask you right now, let's say you are in a gunpoint right now, and they ask you, list your number one strength that you are so good at. Out of all of your strength, which one comes first? What would that be? Can you comment? Comment your strength. I want to see some strength. What is your number one strength? Somebody says, uh, earlier on, somebody said she's very good at teaching, but nobody, she's not making money from it. Somebody says I'm always available. Somebody says cooking. Somebody says effective communication. Somebody says counseling. I'll pick any of them so that we start converting that into a niche. I want to pick something that people least expect, because I can tell you any strength can be converted into a money-making system. I can tell you any strength can be converted into a money-making system. You just need to know how. Okay, now let me see. Somebody said jokes. That's good. Somebody said pastor. Somebody said creativity. Somebody said I'm doing snacks and all of. Very good. You see, we have a lot of people that have different strengths that they have at their disposal. Now, somebody said I am always available. That's her strength. Now, I want us to use that and convert it into a monetizable niche. Now, somebody wondering, how can availability be a strength that can make money?
Yeah.
So let us take, and as I said, I've seen all the strength that people have listed. And one funny thing is some people don't know their strength. Some people are listing what they can do with their hands. Right? We'll talk about that someday. And this is why many people find it difficult to actually make money, because they don't know how to pay attention to certain details in life that they can make good use of it in their lives. Now, somebody said, I am always available. Now, that is her strength. Now, how can she convert that into a monetizable niche? And I'm going to do so by giving an example. Now, there was this pastor lady that she's in Yaoundé. And this lady, she's a pastor, so she means that most of her work is done in the evening or on weekends and all of that. And she was thinking of what she could do. And she had time, yes, but she was not making money from that extra time. As someone said, availability. Availability means you have time on your hands. Availability means you can be dependable. Availability means you can be trusted. Availability means you can get things done. And in business, one of the most important things that if you can do for people, you will always make money is if you can help people save time, you will always make money. So how can you use your availability and help somebody save time? You will always make money. Now, this pastor in Yaoundé, which she's a lady, she had, let's say she had availability. Now, when I started talking with her in the process of coaching, we're able to come to a conclusion that, look, you can use your time and start identifying rich women in your community who are very busy but don't have time to drive to Marché Mokolo, to drive to different markets to buy food for their families to cook.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? And we did that. We did a small WhatsApp message and all of that. And that was the message. This is a business that needs no capital. All she needed was the idea and her availability to make this work. And then after the coaching session, I drafted I drafted a WhatsApp message for her that she can just look at the busy women in her phone book, in her WhatsApp contact, and send to them that, hey, I have just started a business today, and this business involves me doing shopping for you as a busy woman. You will not need to get stuck in traffic when you leave work. We highlighted the troubles that rich women go through in order to go buy when they leave work or when they leave their business areas. Guess what? When she sent these messages, the next day she was able to get her first 7 clients. Now, she's charging 1,000 francs per client to go buy for you, to go do your shopping for you.
Okay.
Now,
interesting.
Few weeks later, let's take few weeks later. Few weeks later, she was able to make some money, and we designed flyers, and she printed the flyers, and she went to Post Central in Yaoundé and these government offices where they permitted her. She will enter and share flyers. This is what I do. I shop for busy women. I shop for busy women. That was all she was doing. You see? Guess what? After sharing that flyer, the next day, she was able to have, she had 31 commands. 31 commands to buy for the people.
Wow.
You see? Now, 31 command means they are paying her 1,000 francs per person. By that time, she did not have a car. So she would do what they call depot. You hire a taxi for 1 hour for distribution or 2 hours. Now, take 31,000 francs, remove 2,000 from there. What is left? 29,000 francs. Out of nowhere, in a few weeks, not up to 4 weeks, a woman is able to make 31,000 francs a day from using her availability, which is time, and going to shop for other people. She was able to monetize that strength. That was a strength that she had available, and she don't know what to do. So the challenge with strength is many people don't know how to package a strength so somebody can buy.
Oh yeah, you can say that again. Yeah.
So when she came and I was talking with her, what we did was we packaged her availability strength into what another human being can see and buy. You understand? So yes. Many people listed their strength here. The question is that your strength that you listed, what is the problem in the lives of other people that you can package that strength and begin to sell? Now,
of course,
another person said that he is a good communicator, right?
Yeah.
That was his strength. Now, communication remains today one of the most powerful skills in the world today and in the next 30 years. Anybody who can communicate, either through speaking like this, through writing, whatever channel that you can use to communicate with other people, if you know how to convert that into ways that people can pay you, you will always make money. Now, the question is, look at that, your strength, that your skill. How can you package it in a way that you can present to other people who will see the need to pay for that particular service? So you have a strength that can make you money. Sit down and begin to look at how can I package this strength? How can I convert this strength in a way that people can pay for it? And what are the things you should be doing? Number one, look at the pain points. What are the troubles that people are going through that your strength can solve? Number one. Number two, make in a way that they can see that they need you. The lady made in a way that you are a busy man and work before you go to buy, you'll be stuck in traffic. Before you get home, you'll be late. She made sure that they saw that they needed her. Number three, know how to put a price in what you have packaged. Know how to put a price to it. Number four, know how to communicate it.
Yes.
Know how to describe it in a way that somebody can say, wow, this is what I need. We started by describing that her business or that her strength in a way that people can be able to see that they need her. So your strength is a monetizable niche. You just need to pay more attention. Now, let me add something here as we round up here with a particular point. Let me add something here. There are some strengths that you may need to gain additional skills so they can help you make money, because some strengths are still very raw, but you need a strength that you can convert into a money making, into a skill that somebody can understand and pay for. Number two, there are some strengths that you will need somebody else's skills to add to your strength before you can be able to monetize it. But you need to just open up. And this is where having that growth and open-mindedness come in. It's difficult for you to see opportunities to make money when you have a closed mindset. Let me give you an example of a closed mindset. If you are listening to me right now and you believe that you will never make it in Cameroon, you only think that you only make it in life when you leave Cameroon, you have a closed mindset. You will hardly see opportunities around you with that kind of mindset. The right kind of mindset is a mindset which believes that put me anywhere, I will make money. Put me anywhere, I will make money. That's the right mindset. Have that kind of thinking mindset. When you have that kind of mindset and personality, they put you anywhere. I've had the privilege to travel 20 countries plus to speak in different events. Mr. Chris, I have seen poor Cameroonians in all of these 20 countries.
They are everywhere, yes.
I have seen, the last time I was in the US, I saw a Cameroonian, I was forced to give this young man $100.
People will not believe that. People think that in the US you are just already rich automatically.
Yes. There are many people that when they change location, they have just transferred a human body with a poor mindset, poor character, poor skills into a developed country. If you go like that to a developed country, you remain broke and you keep struggling. I have seen them in Dubai when I'm Dubai. I've seen them in South Africa. I've seen them everywhere. So this is very important. Make sure that you work on yourself, your mindset. It's going to help you to improve your ability to identify these monetizable needs. So the assignment for you is, what is that your one strength that you can convert into a skill, into a value that somebody can pay for? That is your assignment. So that is the number one way that you can identify your monetizable niche. Yes, Chris.
Okay, so Doc, that was so powerful. That was amazing. I am tempted to talk like one of our parliamentarians that went to parliament and said that my colleague has already said it all. Like when he was in parliament, all was like, I support, my colleague has already said it all, but I will not say that my colleague has already said it all, because we have young learners who are so hungry for knowledge. We ourselves, we are so hungry to share the knowledge. Yeah. Now, I want to talk about identifying your niche, and I'll start with personal experience. Now, I want to ask you a question. When you go to the market to buy a pair of shoes, do you usually buy the first one that you try to measure? No. You have to go around trying to make sure that you look different sizes, different colors, and all that to see which one fits. The problem with us, and one of the reasons why we are unable to identify our niches, is because we are not patient to do experiments. When I was in Cameroon, I struggled with identifying my niche. I can still recall vividly when I made a post on my timeline on Facebook and talked about how I suffered. One gentleman came in and asked me to shut up, that I've not suffered anything in life. Well, when people are talking about how they have suffered, I should not talk because I have not suffered.
They have no idea.
I have tried everything possible to identify my niche, and I try to identify my niche in the world of communication, and I try to identify it in customer service. I try to identify it in several ways, and this is why I did a lot of things. I was trying everything basically to make sure that that was what I would do. And I'm this kind of person where I will not like to do it first just because I want the money, because if I'm not comfortable, I go away.
Exactly.
I remember one of my teachers telling me that he's not sure that if the way I want to work, I will ever work for somebody, because he saw the way I was doing it. But I let him understood that I was not doing it for the money, and that is why I couldn't stay there to continue to do it if it's not moving. So you have to try several experiments in your life if you are trying to identify your niche. Now, what you are doing, ask yourself, am I comfortable doing what I'm doing? And if you are not comfortable doing what you are doing, then it is the first sign that you need to let it go. We know that we always talk about perseverance, patience, that you need to persevere. But there are things that you should persevere and know that you are comfortable doing what you are supposed to be doing. Is it a calling, a niche, or a monetizable niche? I will call it in other ways. You are calling. That is something that you have been called to do, and you are doing it with all your strength. You are doing it with everything that is in you. So ask yourself these questions, and don't feel discouraged when you keep trying to identify and then it is not moving. It is because it shows that you are actually working. Failure is a sign that you are trying. Because if you don't try, you don't even fail. There are some people who have already failed and they are right on the ground. They will never stand up because they have already failed. But each time you fail, know that it is a sign that you have actually been trying, and that is why you failed. So if you are trying to identify your niche and you see that it is not going, and then keep on fighting. The second problem I would like to talk about, where most of us are unable to identify our niches, is because, like I said in my first point, I want to re-emphasize on the fact that we go for the money first. Now, there are two things that you should know: money and your niche. Your niche will bring money, but money will not bring the niche. Now, if you identify your niche and concentrate on it, it will bring money. But if you concentrate on the money and forget your niche, money will go away and your niche will also go away. So ask yourself, what is my niche and how can I be able to use this niche to bring in money? And then you should also, for instance, if I say you have a niche in I can say that there are some people who have a niche in maybe cosmetics, like you like talking about cosmetics, you like to advertise cosmetics, that is the industry where you're identifying your niche. You like to talk about beauty, and at the end of the day, you also have culinary skills where you can be able to make soaps for yourself. You can make soaps, more appealing soaps that you can share to the public or you can sell to the public. Now, the questions that you should ask yourself should not be feeling that maybe when I make these soaps, the public will not be able to buy. Just go ahead, make more appealing soaps for as far as that is your skill, that is your niche. And then I also talk about individuals. Most of us give up at the eve of our success. Like I used to say, we give up before it's even time. Just at the time that we're about to succeed, we give up. This is because we tend to focus more on everybody rather than focusing on individuals. Because try to identify people that are able. And guys, I just want you to understand. For instance, if you identify a niche, like in a relationship and dating world, the person that you are coaching in relationship automatically becomes your customer, your client. On Facebook, we are all clients to those people who have their pages monetized. And these people are using their niches to be able to make money out of Facebook. Though you don't pay those people, but you are their client. And now, one good thing about getting a monetizable niche is that you are using this niche you are using this niche. This niche is benefiting you and benefiting another person. Because you are on Facebook listening to the person talk about relationship and you are learning from the person talk about relationship. While the person is making money, you are gaining experience from learning from that person who is talking about relationship and dating. This is why we talk about you operating from a place of comfort, from a position of comfort. Because the person that you are a client for is actually making money and then you are gaining knowledge.
Exactly.
So those are things that you should be able to learn. Now, like I said, you have to forget about making money. So these are some of the ways that I like to talk about. Maybe I will get over to Doctor. He will have a few things to talk about. We can check some few comments before we continue.
Awesome, awesome. Yes, I mean, you have raised a very, very practical point that when added to what we have been saying, somebody can really take action. Now, before I talk about the second thing on how to identify your niche, I see somebody keep asking, how can I identify my niche? Please just listen carefully. That is the purpose for today's session, how to identify your niche. And we have been talking about this for the last 30 minutes already, and we have seen one practical way to do that, and I'll be talking about the second practical way. Now, before I talk about that, I want to emphasize that your niche is not your purpose. Your niche can be your purpose, but it must not be your purpose. See, purpose is too big and so powerful that if you summarize it into a niche, you are going to miss out on life, okay? It is possible to pick your niche from your purpose, yes, but your niche must not be your purpose. For example, you can create a business niche to make money from your strength, which is not your purpose, right? And yes, you can create a niche from your purpose and begin to do what you're doing. Now, somebody left a comment that I had to copy and put it so that I say this, because this is one of those comments that, or those mindset that when you begin to have in negatively, Mr. Chris, and this is one reason why you do the things you do on your page and the things we keep doing, because of this kind of mindset. Because when people don't outgrow this mindset, it keeps them stuck. Let me tell you something. Whatever success that you desire in this life, you would never achieve it beyond the quality of your mindset. Money, career, business, relationships. People have terrible marriages because of the kind of mindset that they went into marriage with, right?
Yeah.
So it's very important. Now, somebody made a comment and said that, I don't know what you were talking about, Chris, and she said, sir, that your own was before. Business today is not easy in Cameroon.
Mm-hmm.
These are what that your own was before. Business today is not easy in Cameroon. Meanwhile, it is more easier now to make money than it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
This is the most easiest time in history to make money. Very easy. Let me give you an example. 10, 15 years ago, Facebook was not as popular as this. 10, 15 years ago, we did not have StreamYard. 10, 15, many platforms, WhatsApp, many of these platforms, the more resources, the more technology, the more tools, the more equipments that we have, the more ability, the more easier it becomes to make money. It is more easier now than to make money. The problem is there is a disconnection. There is a disconnection. Yesterday on my page, it was fire. I was saying that anybody who is between 17 years and 25 years and you are struggling financially and you spend time to watch BB Niger, you are doing yourself disservice and the most
I saw the post.
Stupid human being on earth. Sorry to say. Now, there are a lot of resources now available, but young people are disconnected from these resources. So, how will you know the resources that can help you make money when your life is entertainment priority before education priority? That's the problem with us. It's easier now, but that is a challenge. That is a difficulty, right? So we need to start retailoring our abilities and concentration and energy and focus into those areas. Because there are things that, Chris, for example, do you know that I know a young man in Douala that he has mastered this StreamYard so well that he pitches, he meets people and presents to them that I can help you do a show online like this. All you need to do is pay me 10,000 for 1 hour and I will control your show behind the scenes.
You'll see.
If he did not, see, there's something called resourcefulness. If you are not resourceful, you will always be broke in this generation. This generation is the generation of knowledge. What you know and what you can make it a resource will help you to become rich in life or become successful financially. You see? So, anybody, if business were, I am a business consultant. I've been consulting business for 10 years today, 10 years plus today. I consult in Cameroon and all of that. When I started 10 years ago to do business consulting, it was harder 10 years ago to make it in business than it is today.
I agree with
Than
you
it is today.
100%.
Because
Yeah.
the business people of this generation have more access to resources. For example, 10 years ago, who was doing giveaway? No, let's be serious.
But
10 years ago, who was doing
do you
giveaway on
even know
social
that the
media?
word existed like giveaway? We never knew about that.
Right? But you do giveaway, Mama Talaku is doing giveaway, so many people are doing giveaway, and those are resources. Those are resources coming together, whether they are reaching you or not. The good news is that this is the economy that you are in right now. Leverage on it. And this goes back to the mindset. Look, if you have this mindset that it is harder to succeed in Cameroon now than it used to be, you will always keep on failing. If you have this mindset that it is harder to make it in Cameroon, I and Chris are talking before this, and we are saying that if you are in Cameroon, there are some people in Cameroon that they have no money to travel abroad. They have no uncle and no auntie abroad. Their
Nothing.
only hope is Cameroon. Your
Yes.
only hope is Cameroon. And if your only hope is Cameroon and you have the wrong mindset, there's no way you are going to go in life. So
Looks like
you need to start working on yourself, right? So you can become better. So you can, because when you keep having this mindset, number one, you will not be a it seems my network is on and off.
the head of state is not happy.
Hello, Chris, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. And your network, oh, it looks like we are having problem with Dr. Jaffney's network. I will have to continue from here while we wait for him to bounce back officially to the program. Let me just see if I can take him. So we are talking about, I hear like he was trying to talk about, okay, let me bring him back. Can you hear me
All
now?
right, I hope it's stable now.
Yes, it is stable
yes,
now.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So I just felt that I should address that mindset. It's very important. Please, let's work on it, right? And that is why I appreciate the kind of content that Chris shares and all of. Please, I know this is a come together of different communities. Please, you can follow Chris, and those who are following Chris can follow me, because we share things in this area to push people forward to change certain things, and the opportunity that they also get to share, because when you get this right, it's going to help you. My network seems to be unstable.
Yeah, the network is
I hope it's what's going on. All right.
yeah, but I think you're okay now. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So I've addressed that mindset issue. The second way that you can identify your monetizable niche is your interest. What interests you? There are things that can interest you that they are not your purpose and you have no skills, but you can decide and convert your interest into a money-making system. Now, what interests you? What just interests you generally? Now, let's, in the chat box, in the comment section, just comment what interest. Forget about your strength, right? What interests you? Just write.
Yes.
Maybe if it's, for example, there are people that they just like food. Football just interests you, right? Football just interests you like that. What interests you? Or there are some people that TikTok just interests you so crazily, right? What interests you? Write your interest. What naturally just pulls. The first saw it was so interesting to you. It was so interesting. What's that? What's that? Let's take interest. Let's not take things that people can consider unserious, so that we can push from there. What interests you? Take things that people can think like it's unserious. No, business is serious. Take what somebody says food. What interests me is food. Good. I want to see that. Yes. Take
Yeah.
interest that is funny. Right? Yes.
Mentor.
Somebody give me things that interest you. Let's see. Okay, somebody says comedy interests me and jokes in general. That is good. Good. Somebody says try new recipes. Good. Now, you see, these are things that you can actually begin to find ways. This thing that I have interest in. Now, why is interest so powerful? Interest is so powerful because you effortlessly begin to study about those things. You effortlessly begins to research about those things. You effortlessly begin to gather relevant information about those things. You effortlessly can present those things to other people. That is the power of interest. There is a unique energy that leaves you towards that particular area. Now, how looking at your interest, what is within your interest that you can monetize? Now, somebody said online browsing interests him. Let's use that as an example. Somebody said online browsing interests him. Now, you just like these are people that maybe when they pick their phone and they go to the internet, before they realize it, 3 hours of scrolling, laughing, clicking, commenting. They have spent 3 hours and they are very happy doing that. They are very excited doing that. And it's not giving them money, but they're very excited doing that. Right now, that is interest. Now, what can you pick that you can monetize from that particular interest? Now, maybe over time that you have been browsing on the internet, you are so effortless on the internet that you started noticing some things that you can begin to monetize in that particular area. Now, I said earlier that there are some things that for you to be able to monetize, you will need to combine them with something like your interest. For example, if you love browsing on social media, maybe you can acquire a skill, study online, watch YouTube videos on things like how to be a community manager. For example, when you learn how to be a community manager, there's a young man in Douala in Bonaberi that he's into community management and he has about 6 to 7 pages that he manages per month, and they pay him 10,000 per month. He makes about 70,000, 100,000 francs every month just managing pages. What is the work of a community manager? His job is to reply comments, reply messages, share posts, and that is his job. There's nothing super crazy about being a community manager. You just need to be available online and be good with words and all of that. Now, he has been able to merge his interest of being on Facebook, on being on social media, and convert it into a niche that he is able to make money. You see? So, in your interest, there is the ability to make money. You just need to find it. In this thing that interests me like this, there is another young man that I met in an event in Lagos in Nigeria when I was speaking there. This young man has a page of thousands of followers. Do you know his interest? This young man could talk football from morning to evening. Then I asked him, why not create a page? You have so many good football information. Create a page and begin to post this information and update people. Football is like a religion. It attracts people.
Maybe the guy you're talking about, maybe it's one guy that we bring in live here next week, one Nigerian. I don't know if Donald Kimmich, but there is one guy like that whose interest is only in football, and he's making so much money just talking about football. People just listen to him talk about football and they pay him.
But what did he do? He used his interest of football to create what they call attention, because attention now is a currency. If people can run to you, you can influence people. That is a currency that you can use and make now the currency of money. You see? Now, he created that page and he started posting. He would download pictures from free websites and all these areas. He's very good at very articulate with football knowledge and all of that. You see? And he started posting. And before we know it, This guy now was able to start taking adverts. They now pay him 50,000 naira, 10,000 naira, whatever amount, and he's doing well now. You see? So that is it. Any interest can be monetizable. What is the secret in interest? If your interest can generate attention, then there is money in that attention. You need to convert that attention, because attention is a currency. Convert that attention into money, and people can pay for it. Now, somebody said that she's a foodie, that she loves food.
When you are done, I will talk about another point here.
Right? There is food. So you can decide and say, look, you know what? Since I'm good at recipes, I will start doing some recipes and talking about it on social media for free. You gain the attention. When you gain the attention, you can start packaging your recipes into small booklets that you can print and begin to sell. I've converted your interest. Now, the challenge here is many people are not comfortable going through the due process of learning. And this due process is not supposed to be long. The challenge is we are not patient. There are many of you listening to me right now. You can spend 2 hours watching BB Niger. You can spend 3 hours watching a series movie, but you cannot spend 1 hour focusing on a book to acquire information and insight that will change your life. Let me tell you something. Any human being on earth is just a knowledge away, a connection away for your life to change. Just that's it. It's just it. If you acquire the right knowledge and the right people know you, your life can change overnight. The question is, people have not grown to that level. You see, I am a Christian, right? And I happen to be a pastor also. The Bible says that kings will come to the brightness of your rising. See, kings will never come to you if you are a mediocre, average, low quality human being. Kings will never come to you. Kings only come to people who are bright. Until you are bright in rising, nobody relevant will pay for your services. Nobody relevant can see what you're doing. And there are many of you that what you need is to start rising using your interest. Start rising using your strength that we're talking about. A lot is going to change in your life.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. Yes, Mr. Chris.
So, yes, when we're actually talking about interest, Doc, I saw one comment that a person dropped at the comment section talking about her interest. I think that was from Pelagie. Pelagie said that her interest is working in the market and seeing beautiful things. That's what interests her. And then people were actually laughing. Like for us, for her,
But
it
she
is
can
like
make
fun.
money from that. Yes.
I have one guy. The guy discovered that there was this bread that Nigerians loved so much. So when the guy was in the market, moving around, looking at things, he discovered that bread and he used that, he monetized that skill. The guy did not tell the Nigerians where that bread is. Nigerians had to pay him to know where for him to get to them to where the bread is actually. So this is the guy now is monetizing that skill. Just that skill turned into money.
Yeah.
Now get to Douala. When you're in Douala, you see guys who have made money just by moving around looking for beautiful houses and referring to people.
What are you saying?
That is a skill. That is a niche that you don't know. So a lot of us, like when you say you are poor, and then you have an inborn, that niche in you that you are actually moving in the market. When the easiest way, like another person said, that how could I identify my niche? It's just like asking yourself that this thing I'm doing, how can I use it to get money?
Exactly.
This thing that I'm moving in the market every day, just looking at beautiful things and passing, how can I use this, my moving and looking at beautiful things to make money? Let me shock you. I worked in DS Max International because I discovered my niche in marketing. And when I went to
DS Max,
yes, I worked in DS Max.
I have done DS Max.
You cannot see. I usually tell people that you cannot see. It's very hard to see someone who has really struggled in Cameroon. Like when they say that the person has struggled without having done DS Max, then you have not actually struggled. I went into DS Max. I made 3 months in DS Max, became a manager.
Wow, this
is something that, like, in the history of DS Max, I broke records. And people were like, I went to Bamenda, brought witchcraft to come and become a manager. And so I had that skill because in DS Max, they call it multi-level marketing, and you had two things, either to be able to sell products and also bring in new people to the system. And I had that skill I knew that I had that skill that I can be able to convince you to buy whatever I want you to buy. I can be able to convince you to join the system. So some of the reasons why we are unable to identify our skills or to identify our niche is that we look at people instead of looking at ourselves.
Exactly.
When you come somewhere, you start looking at people. This so and so person did it and never succeeded. How far am I sure that I will do it and succeed? For you to break into the market, you are looking at those lapses that you can feel. Exactly. For you to discover your niche is about solving customers' problem. Every business is about solving the customer's problem. And if you can be able to solve the customer's problem, you are breaking the chains. You are breaking limits.
Yeah.
For you to identify your niche, go into the market, look at what other people are doing, and bring in that style that nobody has brought it before. Yeah. This is some of the reason why most of you will go to a place and you discover that there are so many salons along the line, like 5 or 10 salons, but people keep entering a particular salon, and people will say that, no, this is because this person is using jazz. Yeah. There are some places where people sell food, and then you see that at the end of each day, there is one lady that people are always entering there and buying her food, but you are selling yours, you come back with food, though you guys cook the same kind of meals. And then you say that, no, this person is using something. What that person is using is that niche, that witchcraft that the person is using. So today, I would like to baptize niche as witchcraft, what we Africans would like to call it witchcraft. Yeah. Here in America, you hardly hear people saying that this person is using witchcraft like that, but it is mostly between us in Africa where we are fond of saying that someone is using witchcraft. And this is that niche that some person is using. The person has carefully examined what the niche is and what they can be able to do, how they can use that niche to penetrate the market. Ask yourself, don't ask yourself what another person is doing. Ask yourself what you can be able to do to better the problem or to better the issues. Now, another thing is that mostly for us, we tend to rely so much on what we have studied in school. We feel that is the only thing that can give us money. We feel that there is nothing that we can do apart from, like, I'm an accountant. How do you expect me to go and be a journalist, or how do you expect me to be a relationship coach, or how do you expect me to move around Douala looking for houses for people? How do you expect me to go into the market to get things for people to, go and employ yourself as an accountant? When I was the manager of DS Max, we used to launch recruitment, and I finally realized that a lot of people who usually come to my office to apply, they were accountants. And the reason why everybody went in to do accountancy was because maybe about 10 years ago, accountancy was selling. Yeah. And almost everybody felt that it was a good thing to do. Now the trends have changed in the market, but you are not following the trends. You are just feeling that accountancy is good, but you do it without looking at what that can earn you in future. You don't look at the future. So by identifying your niche, I know that I said at the beginning of this live show that money should not be what should be in your mind first. But by identifying your niche, also be able to look into the future. If you identify a monetizable niche, though money is not a problem now, but understand that in future, money should be able to come in. So you are putting in the work and the perspective, believing that money is going to come in future. So now, I basically, when I graduated, because what I did was totally opposite from what I was doing. And I understand that there were a lot of my classmates who saw me like doing marketing. They mocked at me. Like, I went to the university, I went to social security school, studied social insurance, and then came back and was doing marketing, and they laughed and really mocked at me. But that did not bother me. So in order to be able to successfully break through your niche, one thing you should understand is that you should be able to damn any criticism that is coming your way. You alone know what you are doing. So the first thing is that you are operating from a place of comfort. And if you are operating from a place of comfort, what another people feel should never bother you. You put on the shoe and you know where it pinches, or you know where you enjoy the shoe.
You see, that's very important. This is one thing that somebody's leaving a very important comment, that he knows many people that rejected some jobs because they were like, how can I graduate and do something like this? Let me tell you something to add to what you're saying, Chris. In a country like Cameroon, There is a level that you come where your primary responsibility is to survive, not to impress anybody, not to do what people want. There is a level where
Yes.
your primary goal is survival. Your job is you forget your certificate, you forget where you forget everything. Your goal is how can I survive this stage of my life? And many people remain failures for so long because when they at the time when they were supposed to focus on being on surviving, they focus on impressing people. They focus on doing things that
That's
will please people. So there are some people listen to me right now where you are in a stage in your life where your goal, your job is to survive. Your job is not to please anybody. Your job is not to do things to show off. You have no uncle to support you. Your parents are broke. Nobody's there to assist you. You are not there. Your job is to survive. And when you miss out on this, you end up struggling for a very, very long time. For a very long time. So you can do whatever you want to do just to survive. In my period of survival, I did CS Marks from there. I did car wash. I work in building construction site. I did Okada in Bamenda for almost 1 year plus. There is nothing I did not do. Working in bakeries in Cow
that's
Street.
experimenting. You were experimenting.
My goal was anything that is legal that could give me money. I wanted to survive. That is it. And
Uh,
your survival period can be 1 year, can be 2 years, can be 3 years. And the difference with survival mode is that when you're doing your survival mode, you are feeding your future. You are using what you are gaining from your survival period to feed your future. The difference is people that do survival mode just do it and remain there. They don't do it to feed a dream. For example, in the compound where I was staying to while I was on Okada man in Bamenda and Old Town, all of the people there in that compound were Okada guys.
yeah.
Now, 10 years later,
So you
10
actually did Okada too. Let me interrupt you for that.
no, yeah,
So you
I've
were
done
also an
Okada.
Okada man.
I
Okay.
was an Okada man in Bamenda. That's how I paid part of my school fees,
Oh, wow.
part of my university fees, first degree. Now, while I was doing that, I had Okada friends in Bamenda. 10 years today, they are still in Okada in Bamenda today.
Okay.
Today. I know they're sitting on Okada today, right? 10 years later, I have a doctorate degree. I have gone to 20 countries plus. I do the things that I do here and there, right? Now, what's the difference? During my survival mode, I was feeding a dream. When I used to go to school after Okada or come and read books, these guys were laughing at me. Say, book no, they held up for this country.
Yeah.
Now, that was their thought. That was their see. Don't allow somebody's belief system to become your belief system. If I believed what they were saying, maybe I would have remained frustrated. So what Chris was sharing is very powerful because 80% of Cameroonians will have to go through survival mode. It's just a small percentage of the Cameroonian upper class that they were born into what I call birth lottery. Birth lottery is you are born into a rich, stable family. Very few Cameroonians are born in the upper class. The rest of the people, they must go through survival periods in their life.
That is it, yeah.
You see, and during your survival period, your goal is to survive and feed a dream that even nobody is believing in it. That is your goal. For example, you are trying to survive and you're going to evening school. That is a goal. That is a dream. People may not see it. You are a housemate, you are an Okada man, you are being building construction site. All of that you are doing and you are feeding a goal. If many young people get this, a lot will change in their life. A lot. I know that we plan for this to be what 1 hour. I know we're over.
We really are close because the topic is getting more
Now,
interesting.
let's talk about the last way to identify, and then you give the giveaway stuff, and then we can round up and prepare for next Saturday. Now, the next thing what we want to talk about is for you that can help you to identify your monetizable niche is do what is called market demand research. Market demand research. Look around you what are those things that people are demanding that you can bridge the gap?
Exactly.
Do you know that one of the most powerful businesses in the world is for people who bridge the gap? Who bridge the gap?
Yeah.
Now, what is in demand or what may be in demand around you that you can bridge the gap and help people to get access to? Let me
What they
give you an
call
example.
share.
One thing that is popular in Cameroon, somebody just mentioned that few minutes ago. In Cameroon, many landlords are not on social media, and many people are looking for houses. And you like to be on social media. Why not create a Facebook page or a group where people can come there and search for houses through you? Bridge, that's a demand. You can bridge it. There's a young lady I know that I even did a program with her where she's so good with online stuff that she was able to devise a way where she can successfully import from Turkey and from China. Nobody taught her. She was able to find her own ways, and she's doing it so well. Now there are many people in Cameroon that want to import from China and from Turkey. When people used to come and ask me, since I get to travel a lot, they're like, how can I import from Dubai, from this? And then one day I was talking with her, she was like, yeah, this is what I do. And all. I said, you can do that. The next day, I designed a flyer and we started marketing how to import from China and all of those areas. We had people to pay. We made hundreds of thousands doing that training.
You just
She
imagine.
was,
Can you imagine?
he was paid, I was paid. The only thing we did is that we were able to bridge a demand. So what is in demand around you? And let me tell you, there is a moment in your life where you must not make money based on what you love. You can make money from what you hate to finance what you love. We need to know this. You can make money from what you hate to finance what you love. As long as what you hate is legal, they will not lock you up for doing it. And you can fulfill that need. Do it, make your money, use it, and finance yourself. Use it and finance your dream. Whatever demand. I did not like to do Okada, but I did Okada and finance my dream. I do not like to work in building construction site. If you take me to Commercial Avenue in Bamenda, Cow Street, Sonak Street, I will show you buildings. I worked in building construction site and doing decking and all of that, giving bricks. I was making money. They are paying me 3,000 pounds a day. Right? But I didn't like it. And I needed it to survive. I needed it to move forward.
Yes.
You see? So what is in demand around you? What are your friends talking about? What are your neighbors talking about? I have brought Gary from Banso and sold in Bamenda because I know that people are asking for Gary in Bamenda, small stores. It is in demand. Make your money and use it to do what you want to do. That's one way you can identify a niche that you can monetize. So we need to be conscious about this. It's going to help a lot. Because when we start doing this, a lot is going to move our lives forward. So, assignment for you, open your eyes, open your koro eyes very well from today. What is in demand that you can be the bridge, you can bridge the gap and make money from it? What are people asking? There are things that I have heard people asking. I'll go and learn overnight and come and teach. For example, Microsoft Excel. There was a time I learned Microsoft Excel overnight and came and taught somebody so I could make money. It was in demand. Somebody needed it. You see? So I was able to do that. So we need to focus on this and we can be able to do that. Now, we can answer some questions and then we can round up before it's too long for today.
Some people are at the comment section busy saying that, so let's add some hours. Like, seriously? Yeah, this is not going to end in one day, guys. We are actually going to be coming on.
It's a 1 week series.
Yeah, so we are not just ending today. So, like another person said that I enjoy teaching, but the money is not forthcoming. One thing that you need to know about your niche is that you should identify your targeted audience.
Yeah.
Are they online or are they offline?
Exactly.
Are they able to pay or are they not able to pay? Mm-hmm. Now, if you are teaching teaching might be, you can be teaching, but teaching the wrong people or teaching the wrong audience. There are some people that have blogs. I discovered one guy who had a mathematics blog online only teaching mathematics. This is the same mathematics that you go and teach in class. You don't make money, but the guy is teaching it on Facebook and making millions of money. There are people that you might be, if you are giving, for example, a relationship advice, and you are giving it online and not making money, maybe you are giving to the wrong people online, because not everybody is on Facebook. Yeah. The kind of relationship advice you are giving may be to all people who hardly come online, or maybe you are giving it on Facebook when they're on Twitter, or you are giving it on Twitter while they're on Instagram. Identify the people. So we are just going to, Doctor, see if we can have some questions or anything to talk about, like quickly, and then we run out for this live show today. I will be going through, if you have any question that you want to pick, but we can also do that. The comments are just so many, I cannot be able to.
Yes, actually.
Yeah, guys, if you have a question.
Okay, and then somebody says, how can I monetize my niche? Yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah, no, I was saying that as a criterion, we are going to, like we said at the beginning, we are going to be doing some giveaway at the end of this live show. I don't know how we want it to be, but I believe that you can ask a question, any question, like those who are listening, they will give a comment, and then we will come back, check the comments, and see who we can be able to pick for the giveaway today. So, yeah, meanwhile, you can talk about what you wanted to.
Yes, I wanted to answer if somebody said, how can I monetize myself as a nurse? Now, you see, you are in healthcare, and healthcare is also a very regulated industry and all of that. Of course, we know that the primary way that you can monetize yourself in healthcare is for you to be employed as a nurse in another area. But there is a way that you can do that. You know, there was a situation there was a young man. I was doing an entrepreneurship training in Ghana, I think, and this young man shared a very interesting idea. But what I could pick from it in that, if you're a nurse, you can decide and go meet somebody who owns a clinic, because a clinic already has a banner, authorization, and all of that, and tell them, I would like to be the mobile department of your clinic. You have the nursing skills. You need a platform to stand upon. But since they cannot pay, because the only reason that companies don't recruit people, because they feel that they don't have money to pay you. But if you can help them bring money and they use that money to pay you, they will happily accept. That's a fact. You see, so you can find a way. Maybe that clinic is just operating in one location. Tell them you want to open the mobile part, the mobile department of that clinic, and your job is that you go in communities and begin to do maybe health activities, begin to consult people in communities, and they pay you fee and all of that. You can monetize that, right? Or so that is something that you can do as a person. Right. So just find what are the things that you can do for other people that can get you paid as a nurse. Maybe, for example, another way is if you're good with online, you can start writing medical books or books that people can read and learn new things about how to take care of their body and all of that. You're good at it. You can do that. So just monetize your knowledge, monetize your hands-on skills, and you can be able to do that. Good.
Yeah, that is just excellently put. Like you said, healthcare is one of the highest niches that people are making money out of today. And the fact is that most of us, because we are just following what other people are doing, we are not bringing in a specific style. You are a nurse, but you are not doing anything different from what other nurses are doing. You are a medical doctor. You have not done anything different from what other medical doctors are doing. The question is, what is that style? As a nurse, in order for you to be able to make money, there should be a style that you are bringing in, something new that no one has brought it before. We know we live in a world, just like doctors said, people no longer just trust what their doctors say. People don't just trust anything about their health. They like to dig for that, maybe get from experiences. You see, just to elaborate a little bit on this, from what I'm trying to say, there are some sick people who have gone through some kind of illnesses and they got cured. Now, some people will be very comfortable listening from you because you have had experience. You were actually suffering from that. Let's say you suffer from an ailment for about 10 years, 5 years, and you got healed. Everybody would like to sit and listen to you talk about that illness and how to treat it rather than even listening to a medical doctor. Sure. So these are things that you should be. So this is your own style that you are bringing in. Convert your story into a testimony. Convert your story into money. Monetize your story. Monetize your experience. Monetize your knowledge. Don't just use it to say that since I'm a nurse, I must only treat somebody to get money. I must only sell more medication. I must always go to the theater as I'm a doctor. Now, what are those specific things that nobody has done? Don't just do what everybody has done, but to discover your niche, try doing what nobody has done. That is that specific skill or style that you are bringing into the market. Okay, you have.
All right. Now, for those who are because I see some people saying that we should have another session again. Please, as we said earlier, this is going to be a session that will run for the next 4 weeks or so, right? Like, for example, next week, we'll be handling developing high income skills for financial growth. We'll be highlighting you if you want to experience financial growth in your niche. These are the skills that you should begin to work on and develop and how to develop them. So that's what we're handling next week, Saturday. Okay? So, yes, Mr. Chris.
Do you have a question that you wanted to drop for them to comment? We pick our
people. Here's the question for the giveaway. Here's the question for the giveaway. What did you learn? Write one thing that you learned and how you will practice between today and next Saturday. Go. What did you learn from today's session and how you will practice that thing between today and next Saturday?
Good. And then we are going to go through and then select the person and decide if we are.
How many people are we picking, Chris?
Let's say we can pick 2 or 3 people.
Okay, good. Yeah. So the giveaway session, we're picking 2 or 3 people. If we get the best 3 answers, we'll give you a giveaway. So what did you learn today, and how will you practice between today and Saturday?
And what we'll actually be doing is when we come for another live session, we will first of all start by announcing the people who won the last giveaway. We'll credit you and then move into another live session. And at the end of the final last session, we'll pick out a few people that we can be able to, who have really learned. We can be able to help them, sponsor them as they try to identify their niches.
Perfect. You see?
Yeah.
This is so. Awesome.
Now, any last word for the day before we shut down? I know people are still trying to come in so powerfully, but unfortunately, we cannot just continue like that.
We cannot stay.
Yeah.
All right.
Is there any last word?
Last word, as I always like to say, relevant knowledge is useless without action. What you have learned today, make sure you start taking action immediately on it, right? You will only see the impact of good knowledge on you if you put that knowledge to work. And there is nothing wrong you just staying and going back. It's a recorded session. It's going to stay on YouTube and on Facebook. You can go back to it again. Listen carefully. This is how I study. When I'm going through a video, I'm studying, there's always a pen and a paper. I am writing 2 things. Let me give you a secret. When you're studying or you're in a session like this, always do 2 things. Number 1, write down what will you start doing because of what you have learned today. Number 2, what will you stop doing because of what you have learned today. If you start doing this, any of the book, right? Ask yourself, what will I start doing because of what I've learned from this book today? And what will I stop doing because of what I've learned today? When you do that, that's how you keep growing as a person. So take time, go back through the video, listen to everything I and Chris shared, and a lot will be changed in your life. Thank you so much, everybody. See you next Saturday, same time, 8 p.m. Cameroon time.
Absolutely, and thank you so much. And just like let me just give my last comment before we shutting down. St. Jerry, who goes by the name El Dunami say many people are just struggling to put food on the table. They don't like what they are doing, especially in Africa and most third world countries. Yeah, this is something that I wanted to also talk on before we go to an end. Like Dr. Jaffney said, that there's what we call survival mode. There were things that he was doing just to survive and then to sustain the dream or to sustain what you are trying to do. So it's just that most of us in Africa, like when he goes back to Bamenda, he will realize that most of the people he was doing Okada business with are still doing the Okada. This is because these people are not using that Okada to sustain a dream. They are using Okada as their final point. Somebody like me, I had to pick loose fruit in Lobe Estate at the Pamo. Not that I did not, but when I was already certified, I had a profession. I had to pick loose fruit and with people who had not even had first school. I was not bothered about that. I had to carry bed sheet on my head in Yaoundé and move along the street of Mokolo, Biamasi, and everywhere when I had just left school. That was not because. So sometimes you are doing it to survive, and then while trying to sustain your dream. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to really thank you so much. You don't know how we appreciate the contributions, the excellent contributions that you put in today. I must confess that I've read most powerful comments on this live show that I've ever read before, and this is because you were attending this show with open minds to learn. I have seen your hunger and thirst to succeed or to identify your niches, and Dr. Jaffney and I are actually here to make sure that we deliver it to you just the way you want it. If you can put in your effort, if you can put in your interest, we will bring in what it takes to be able to lead you to where you are going to, for as long as discovering your niche is concerned. Like we said, we will be coming on again next Saturday. That will be same time, 8 p.m. Cameroon time, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time in the US. And tomorrow we also have our normal live shows here that we do every weekend. For those who are preparing for back to school, we will also be here tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. to talk about what you should be expecting after advanced level. So please key in again tomorrow and let's ride on. God bless you, and may you enjoy the rest of your evening wherever you joined us from today. And please, even though it's at the end, still keep sharing the live video.